Mr. Wrong, Mr. Wrong, Mr. Wrong. Well, how long will you keep stringing me along? Well, I used to call you Mr. Debonair. You talked about your trust fund with such jet-set savoir-faire. You were Harvard-bound in a ragtop band. At least that's what you said. I felt like Cinderella when you asked me for my hand. Mr. Wrong, Mr. Wrong, Mr. Wrong. Well, how long will you keep stringing me along? This is where the awesome guitarist plays. In my mind. And on the record. Do you like that? I stole it from him. Here's my one other trick. I get more joy out of that. And this is what we call in the business bringing it down. Well, our wedding day is delayed on a date you can't agree. But I'll be so proud you'll be Harvard bound once you pass your GED. Our engagement ring turned my finger green, and the stone was diamond store glass. And now my daddy wants to hold you while my brothers kick your ass. Mr. Wrong, Mr. Wrong, Mr. Wrong. You told me you were sterile, and now I'm 7 months along. Mr. Wrong, Mr. Wrong, Mr. Wrong. Well, I'm finding out that you are. Well, I'm finding out that you are. Well, I'm finding out that you are Mr. Wrong. Okay, now I've got to talk because I got to tell you guys the story. But it's important that you know it before you hear the song. In 1899, in my hometown of Quincy, Illinois, there was a tragedy that happened, and 12 little girls died. And when we lost our farm and moved to Quincy, we moved to a house that was right next to the cemetery that they were buried in, and I could see their gravestones. I think we moved next to the cemetery because we apparently weren't depressed enough or something. It was a very Midwestern move, I've come to understand. But so we were living next to the cemetery, and I could see these little girls' graves. And I was 8 or 9 at the time that we moved in, and the little girls had all been right around 10. So I thought about them a lot. And every time I had a birthday, I was just always really aware that I was getting an extra year. And what had I done with it? and so it kind of made me live my life in a more interesting way. Sorry. Tinsel halos, paper wings, things that burn too easily. Angels in a Christmas play. 12 began to sing, and Laura wasn't looking, and her gown went up in flames. And she screamed and she fell, and she pulled us all down, and the fire began to rage. The curtains rang down, the mothers rushed the stage, but helpless the angels burned as the nuns tried to beat out the flames with their bare hands. And I shrilled, and I hurt, and I burned, and I died. 12 of us died on the stage at the St. Francis Bethlehem play. Mary, Mary, Wilhelmina, Josephina, Margaret, Olivia, Celia, Coletta, Irene, Mary, Mary, Bernardina was my Christian name, but my mama always called me her birdie girl. And Sister Theodora lost both her hands, 'cause the burns had been so deep. And 2,000 mourners bore 12 wooden boxes to church on Christmas Eve. The priests intoned and the fathers wept with guilt and grief, and the mothers rocked with empty arms in shock and disbelief. And I cried for my family, but they couldn't see. 12 of us prayed to be saved at the St. Francis Bethlehem play. Christmas angels dancing in rings, well, they jump the stones with tattered wings. And it's 20 years beneath the trees. Well, it's not the same for me. the years drag by, and less, and I see the ones I love, and they mumble their prayers as I fumble and stare at what those years have done. The baby of my family, he has 2 little girls of his own, and new faces I just don't recognize. They live where I belong, and I knew what I lost, what was mine, what was gone. 12 of us died on the stage, and 12 of us prayed to be saved, and 12 of us lay in our graves. St. Francis, Bethlehem play. Tinsel halos, paper wings, well, it's all that has been left for me. Eternity beneath the trees, well, it's not the same for me. Mary, Mary, will